Well, the federal government has been called upon to review the education curriculum to ensure that learning and teaching methods conform with the current realities of the coronavirus pandemic. During the unveiling of a policy brief on the impact of COVID-19 on education in Ilorin, the Brain Builders Youth Development Initiative, a non-governmental organization, implored governments to increase budgetary allocation for education. Following their assessment of the impact of COVID-19 on the education sector, and in the course of research, critical stakeholders, including students, lecturers, education administrators and consultants across the 36 states of the Federation, they discovered that the pandemic had both positive and negative impacts on students. They also stress on the need to improve on the education infrastructure and ICT for effective teaching and learning.
We implore the federal government to review education curriculum. This is to ensure that learning and learning methods meet current realities. The federal government is also urged to improve accreditation criteria for higher education institutions. The National University Commission, the National Board for Technical Education, and other accrediting agencies should include digital latency as part of accreditation criteria for higher institutions. Improving digital frontier of higher institutions should not be at the behest of the school management. Rather, it should be a legal mandate for the establishment and maintenance of the institutions. Increase budget allocation for education. The federal government must make a concerted effort to increase investment in education by supporting higher institutions to build digital learning infrastructures. Increase investment in broadband penetration. Nigeria's internet penetration is currently poor. Therefore, the Nigerian Communications Commission must collaborate with the Ministry of Education that higher institutions and their suburb have access to quality internet. We are not saying there is no internet in school now, but of course, it needs to be very quality and meet up with the international standard. Also, NCC must deepen its efforts to implement the national broadband plans to improve internet penetration across the country. For the management of higher institutions, we encourage them to, 1, develop infrastructure for virtual education. Our institutions must invest in digital technology for distance learning. The pandemic has brought a new wave of education system, and institutions are struggling to adapt. Before the pandemic, some institutions in Nigeria had an investment in some digital technology, like the installation of local access network across the campus, investment in Wi-Fi connectivity, and provision of tablets to students. These were done to regularly shift towards digital learning. However, some of the institutions faltered in their efforts before 2020. When the pandemic hit, the available infrastructure was inadequate to support distance learning. Some schools adopted to use social media platforms like WhatsApp for learning, but it wasn't adequate because it could not accommodate a large class and lecturers could not manage the platforms.